My friends, today I'm Jack Turner, and I'd like to share with you today some issues we've been discussing. We're here in Mexico with a 2-day conference on teaching marketplace possibilities and with a spirit of excellence. And my life has always been one, I want to do better. And there's no way to do better and be a second-class citizen to the extent that I like to use an example. I don't like a dirty car. And I want to make sure that my lawn is kept right. And as we go on then, when I begin to get into the business arena as an entrepreneur, and we owned this Ben Franklin store, which was kind of like a small Walmart store. Then as we got in, there was all kinds of grounds for improvement, and I made a decision that there is no substitute for the attitude of excellence. So I began to pursue every possible opportunity to learn issues that would make me have a more my business to be more presentable and successful. I remember, for example, I rented an airplane, and I flew from Southwest Missouri to Minden, Nebraska to visit another store owner, and he had adventured into an area of retail in his Ben Franklin store that I was very interested in. And guess what? We flew up there, took my store manager and my wife, and when we got up there, he gave us a complete tour, and guess what? That was a very successful tour because I decided that is not for me. And when we continue to go, this attitude of excellence, we always made trips out to visit someone else who is more successful in something than I am. And I found a trick that I want to always be the best in business. I want to be the best wherever I am, and frankly, as a family person, in my church, and of course in my business. And I developed a policy. I call up people near and far who know more about something than I know, and I call them and say, I want to invite you out to lunch. And with that issue, I say I'm paying. And so, generally speaking, they always accept. And when we get to that luncheon event, my first question is, I invited you, I want to ask you, what is working best for you in your business operations now? And they would tell me, they give me examples one after another. And guess what? Generally speaking, I could apply that information. But then another very important thing, to avoid mistakes and errors, and my next question was, now tell me what is not working. And they will always tell you, beware of this and that. And because of this attitude, then guess what? The first thing you know, I can add this information to my already growing list of goals that I want to establish for myself. And so my goal actually began to become to be a dominant leader in the Ben Franklin industry back in the 80s and 90s as the leading store in the Ben Franklin operation across the United States, as being a great winner in the crafting and quilting industries. And I found out that every area that I could use to improve our presentation, I pursued it, even to the extent of extending our advertising. I got an idea that I think I could, if I could just buy radio time and write my own script and read my own ad in my own voice, and I did that, and of all things, it proved out to be highly successful. And first thing you know, we're on 5 radio stations over our area. And people begin to fog in because of this unusual type of a business that is pursuing excellence, and people enter into it and they see and they experience what we have been attempting to make a presentation to them on. And with that being the case, I have had people come in and they would say, because of this driving force and so forth, there is something different about this business. What is it? And the first thing you know, because of our driving force, and I have to do better, first thing you know, I had developed a highway billboard company which allowed us to have 28 interstate highway billboards advertising this unusual store, Turner's Calico Country and Ben Franklin store. Nothing like it. And you know, with that being the case, the first thing I know, I began to be interviewed by the writers of the area. Newspapers began to do stories, and I want to tell you, folks, that creates a joy of being successful. And the more I pursue the excitement of being better, the happier I become. But then the next thing that happens, it causes me to want to share. If it's working for me, it will work for you. And so I go near and far, wherever invited, to share some of the ideas and my driving force that there's no room in this economic society for people who are not pursuing this attitude of excellence. And with that attitude, then, guess what? You're a happy person, and you now can make a pronouncement, I am a winner. But the joy comes is when I begin to tell people, if I can do it, then you can do it, and use this as an example, and I guarantee you positive results. The first thing you know, you're going to be a better father. You're going to be a better business person. You're going to be a better employee. You're going to be better as myself in landlording. I tell people I want to have happy tenants. And someone come in and they say, I don't know whether I like this paint or not. And I found out that I only want happy tenants. And you know what I tell them? If there's any way in the world that you're not sure about that you are satisfied with the color of this or anything else, I would rather you not rent for me, because I only want a happy, satisfied residence. Oh, I believe I'll take it. And that is the answer that I get many times from those types of issues. And this attitude goes throughout. This attitude goes throughout my life, and it has changed my life. I'm 86 years old, and I have a driving force and a passion to pursue excellence, but not in my life, but to see it in the lives of others. Now that means they will also become winners and be prospering and satisfied in their life. I would like to make another comment, as I have made it a desire of mine to pursue the attitude of excellence. We had 23 staff people at the time when we did sell out in 1991. And part of the teaching that we gave them, everybody must have eye contact, and everybody must be acknowledged. And for these people to serve and represent me as I want them to do, I tell them, I don't want you to be an employee, I want you to be a member of the family. And when you do this, then you're going to see and experience the satisfaction that's in people that causes them to come back and come back and come back again. Therefore, by pursuing the attitude of excellence in staff, I know we would have 2 to 4 high school students working with us every year. And when I would interview them and bring them on staff, I would tell them, this is not a job, this is a school. I want to see you pursue these ideas and areas that I myself am possessed with, and if you will let me, I will be your teacher, where you then can pursue these areas of excellence, and I promise you, you will have fulfillment of life and then become a person of joy and satisfaction, because now you are a winner.